Hey guys, this is Kara from Create Your Balance with Literacy, and I hope everyone's having a great weekend. I just wanted to hop on here tonight and talk to you guys about my center checklist and accountability sheet for literacy centers. And a lot of you have been asking me questions about it, and so I decided, well, I'm just going to do a quick little video and so you guys can understand it a little bit better. So, since Friday was our last day of September, for our school year here. So at the end of each month, my students will turn in their center pages that they have collected throughout the month. So all of these pages I'm going to show you in just a minute were from one of my students, fabulous little girl in my class this year. So she went to each center and she has colored in, you can see the little icons right here that she has colored in. So on my computer right here, you can see my center checklist, and not my checklist, sorry, my rotation board. And so each child has a number over here on the side, and they have a magic number. And so all week long, they can choose between these 4 centers that are at the top row here. So number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4 can choose these centers. And then 5, 6, 7, 8 can choose these centers all week long, and then so on and so on. Okay, now they cannot go to the next row until the following week. So I'm going to change these cards the following week so then they have a new row of centers to go to. So I tell them before they go to a new center, they have to complete their center templates. Okay, so I'm going to go through each one of these. I'm going to show you what they are. So at the beginning of the year, it took me about 25 days to introduce all my centers because I have 24 centers. The very first day that I introduced centers, we talk about our center folder. We talk about the center rotation chart. We go step by step, and I only have maybe one icon on there. And I keep adding, and I keep adding, and I keep adding. And every day is a new center that I introduce with the kids. And so we all sit together around the center, and we all have our clipboards in our laps. They all have this center page that we go over together, and I show them all the different activities with each center, and we talk about how there's ICANN cards they have to read. They have to have a whisper voice at the center. They have to have their green center folder, their clipboard, their pencil, and they have to take one of these pages off of the clipboard page that's on the center and put it on their own clipboard page. So I know it's a lot of steps, but we go through it for 25 days. And so by the end of the 25 days, they pretty much got it. So then after that, they're on their own and they're able to go to their row, their 4 centers or 5 centers that are in their row for that week. Now, if they go to this center the first day, they can go to this one the second day as long as they have completed their center page. If they have not completed their center page, they have to go back to that same center to complete their page before they move on to the next center. So that's how I keep them accountable. So whenever they finish their clipboard page at the center, let's say she goes to computer, she's going to color in this picture right here. And this is all the centers in my classroom. This is all 24 centers. And then they have to write the date at the top, the month that they have, and they have colored in all of their center icons here. So I'm just going to go through real quickly about each center that I have for the templates. And by the way, these are all in my store if you're interested. I have a farmhouse theme templates, and I also have a generic theme for the centers as well. So this is Finger Puppets, and so Finger Puppets, I have some little quick, just little finger puppets they can put on their fingers and make a little puppet show. She writes a story about her puppets. She wrote about 2 birds that were sitting in a tree, and one of them was named Casey. So they have to color the background. I teach them how to shade and break their crayons into little bitty pieces and take off the paper. Yes, I know I'm kind of strange, and I have them shade it and color the background and outline. I'm very picky about how they color. And this is the Art Center. And so she illustrated a pig because a couple of weeks ago we had fairy tales, folk tales, fables, and so I had the I Can Draw book up there on the Art Center, and they could draw the 3 little pigs, and so she drew the 3 little pigs right here, or one of them, colored the background. This was the Technology Center, and so they have to draw what their activity was on the computer that day. And I have also a template for the iPad and the template for the smartboard as well. And so she drew something from ABC All that she was doing with the fuzz bugs. This was the theme center. And every 2 to 3 weeks, I'd change my theme center. And this was an All About Me theme center that she drew a telephone. We talked about one of our 5 senses was hearing and using our ears to hear and talk on the phone. And so she drew the phone and then she wrote a sentence about it. Most of my centers, they have to write something about what they're drawing. The WordWorks Center, they have to build words and play little activity games with their words. She has to make a list of the different words that she made. And then she drew a zipper that was on the card and then drew a picture of the zipper that goes with it. This was Drama Center. This is my puppet theater. And so they put on a puppet theater with their puppets. And so she drew the lamb and the duck. And we talked about... she did a farm story. She called it, the setting was the farm. The problem was the farmer was missing an animal. And the solution was the sheep and the duck found the animal. And the genre was fantasy. So that's the Drama Center. Author study, we just finished doing Kevin Hinks a couple of weeks ago. And so she wrote about Chrysanthemum, what her favorite book was. And then she says, I love this book because it makes me happy. That is so sweet. And then she drew Kevin Hinks. I love his glasses. This is the Library Center, and she wrote about Mean Gene the Reese's Queen by Alexis O'Neill. And then she put the genre, and then she illustrated beginning, middle, and end here from the Library Center. And also, real quick, I tell them if the center has 2 children at the top, so if it has 2 children there, that means that 2 kids can go to that center. Usually. So over here on the checklist, here is the library center with 2 children, and so 2 children can be at the library center. And that kind of helps them decide, oh, does this one take 1? Does this one take 2? This one, my science center, I have different tubs of science artifacts. I have bones, skeletons, fossils, rocks, butterflies, all different kinds of things. And so she drew a bone that was from the dinosaur tub. And she says, I like the bone. Love her spelling. Again, the art center, I had I Can Draw a Barn when we had our farmhouse theme at the beginning of the year. Another word wall center that she had done. I told them if you finish the center within that week, let's say you do all of these centers, you can go back and do the same for your favorite one again, or you can go back and start over again until the week is finished. Because my centers have so many different activities that they will never get bored. Excuse me. So Writing Center, this is their sticker story. And so they can pick 4 different stickers, put them on their sticker story, and then they write a story about their animals. Or I have cars, I have trees, I have monkeys, I have holiday stickers, all different kinds of stickers they can use. The Game Center, she played Candyland with Mrs. Rickman that day because I spent time walking around and I played a little bit of Candyland with her. And so she won the game on Candyland, and next time she said she was going to play Candyland again. And so then she drew this was one of the sand timers that I had in the center there. This one was the Big Book Center, and so I had the Big Red Barn, again, to go along with my farmhouse theme. And so they had to illustrate a picture and then write a sentence about the Big Red Barn. This was felt board. I have different felt boards inside of each box at the felt board center, and she wrote about Elmer, and the setting was in the jungle, and then she drew Elmer in the jungle here to go with the felt board. Poetry, they had to write a poem that they could see from either one of the journals that I have there, or the focus poem that's on the wall above them, or one of the poems that they can find in their book. And I also have a big poem that's standing up there at the Poetry Center they can write about, and then they can illustrate a picture with it. And this one only has 1 child, so 1 child can go there. This was the Calendar Center, and my calendar is also not only Spiral Review during math time, but it's also one of their centers as well. So they have to answer about what today, tomorrow, yesterday, the weather, what is the season, how many days have we been at school, is it odd and even, the tallies for the day, and the coins that were in the pocket chart, and then how did she feel today? She was very excited. In my museum center, that she drew an artifact that she found. She found a rock that, I believe this was a geode that she drew, and it has the magnifying glass here. So it was living or non-living. She put non-living, and it's from a volcano. And she said it is beautiful. And they're supposed to answer, is it part of a plant or an animal? And I guess she forgot to do that part. So another wonderful artwork by Miss Holly. Read and write the room. So they can take a pointer and they can read around the room, and then they have to write 6 different words that they find in the classroom that they like from the posters, and then they have to write a sentence about it. This was geography. I have the different tubs of the different countries around the world, and this is from Holland. So they had to draw the flag from Holland and write about, is it a country or a state? And then where is your favorite place? And she said Six Flags. And this one is Listening Center. And so we listened to Hooray for Wadney Wat by Helen Lester. And then again, draw beginning, middle, and end. This one is just like the Library Center, just listening to a story on the headphones. And this one is Feltboard again from Elmer. Some of these she did twice. This one is research. So they have to pick a book that they want to research about, and then she researched weather about the rain, because it was raining a whole lot that week that she did this. And so she drew her lightning and her rainstorm here. Who would you recommend this book to? Is it a personal place or thing? And what is the title of your book? And then this one is Construction STEM Center. So I have like different blocks and Legos, and I have a geared train there that they can turn the gears and the wheels there. And I have a pulley and a lever there they can play with as well. So, and again, 2 children are on the picture, so that means 2 children can be at the center. So Friday, each student tore out their checklist. This was in their folder, and that's why it's kind of ripped a little bit. So they tear it out, and then they write the month at the top. We staple it all together, and then in my classroom, I give out bonus bucks. And so for each center page that they complete, they get 1 bonus buck for each one. So I believe she got about 25 different bonus bucks that day for her centers. And so this helps them stay accountable and responsible for all their center work that they do. And I tell them it's not just for play, it's for work also. So as soon as they finish their template, then they can play at the center and do whatever they want to do, as long as they color it in on their checklist and they complete it and they keep it in their center folder. So they're responsible for this checklist for the whole month. So I will put like 8 or 9 of these blank checklists in their center folders, and so they'll just rip them out one by one at the end of each month. So if you have any questions about my centers or center rotation chart or center checklist, please ask, and I'm happy to help. You guys have a great evening and have a wonderful week of school. Okay, bye-bye.